Did you guys even know that there was a Brazilian announcer table during UFC 320? Did you even know? I bet you didn't. Chama. They were there. They were at UFC 320, man. They were there. Look how awesome this is. Look how fucking awesome this is. And then he does the dance, dude. He does the dance, and they all dance. Yeah. Chama. Chama. People, we did it. We did it, dude. Alex is back, baby. He's back. Welcome to the Dynamite Gizmo Podcast, everyone. Episode 200 and guess what? 70. 270. Remember when we hit the 200 mark and I dropped those balloons from the ceiling and they landed all over me and all over the table? Do you remember? Here's today's card. It's tradition around here to show you the card, but it's not tradition to show you what's on the card, but you'll find out anyway because we'll talk about it. I'm going back to my roots, baby. For the last, 30, 40 episodes, I've been relying too much on a script. I've been focusing too much on a script. I'm going back to bullet points, and we're just going to freeball this shit. We don't need to follow a script. This is not a TV news station. We don't need to follow a script, dude. Bullet points are plenty, enough. It's all we need is bullet points. Right, Dynamite? This is Dynamite. Look into it. Look up Joe Louis Dynamite, and you'll see this guy, and you could figure out the history of this motherfucker. Please. And you know what? I need more sound bites. Please.
I want to oil you up.
If you guys know any good UFC-related sound bites, please leave them in the comments. But I know you're not going to because I don't get comments. I don't get comments. I don't get views. I get subscribers. I seem to get 1 to 2, maybe 3 subscribers per episode, which is great. I get some views. I get some likes. My shorts seem to do the best. And my TikToks. Oh, yeah, this is dribbling all over the place. Got a brand new Nalgene, made in the USA, baby. Made in the USA. But we did it, guys. Guys and gals and ugly little monsters. All you ugly little disgusting trolls crawling back under your fucking bridges. All you ugly motherfuckers who were voting for Ankalaev to win. You gotta crawl back under your bridge, bitches. You gotta crawl back. You gotta crawl back under your bridge, bitches. You wanna know why? Because Ank isn't shit. Alex just proved himself. He had norovirus, he had a broken hand, and he had a fucked up ACL going into that first match. And y'all didn't believe him, but look what he did. That made him stronger than ever, baby. There's no one that can defeat him, except for Tom Aspinall. And Jiri won. And Merab won. I kind of wanted Sandhagen to win. It would have been nice because I love the Hags. I love the Hagmeister. But hey, you win some, you lose some, you snooze some, you poos some. Am I right? Who puts mayonnaise on their toast? I just killed a fruit fly. You see that fucker? Right there. Killed him. Cold blood. I killed him in cold blood. I killed him. Now listen, folks. We are in for some greatness when it comes to the UFC for 2026. Do you understand what I'm telling you? The things that we've been witnessing leading up to this point right now means that 2026 is going to be a delicious year. 2024 was pretty good. Okay, but 2026 is going to be fantastic. But before we get into anything, there is another UFC fight night this weekend. And who's excited? We just get fights all the time, baby. All right, we've got Charles Oliveira versus Matusk Gamrot. Okay, and it was originally supposed to be Fiziev, but it's not anymore. And just as always, I make fight prediction sheets, and I've updated them so that they're much better, easier, cleaner, simpler to understand, and they just look better. Look at this beautiful perfection that sits before you. Look at how amazing this fight prediction sheet is. I made that. I made it. Me, not anybody else. This is my creation. I invented this, and it has come a long way. It has not always looked like this, but it looks like it now. So we'll take a quick zoom in here. As you can see, we've got the early prelims, the prelims, and the main card. Wow. Sabashuli. So basically, you use this sheet to make predictions as to who you think's going to win throughout the night. Let's just take a quick zoom in on Walter Walker versus something Usman. This is the box here. So let's just do a quick run through of how this works, okay? You've got the weight class. You've got their names. You've got their Vegas betting odds. It even has green and gray, so you know which one's the favorite and the underdog. I know you could look at the plus and minus, but maybe you're brand new to the UFC and you don't understand. It also has their nickname. Okay, it has their country flag of origin, it's got their fight record, and it's got their rank. And, of course, a picture of themselves. Okay? So you just check off vote for the fighter you think is going to win for every single fight of the night before they start. And then at the end of each fight, you check off who did actually win. And if you got it correct, you check off this star. And then at the end of the night, you tally up every single one of your stars. And then you come down to the bottom right here. And you write your score out of 13. Doesn't that sound pretty easy? Doesn't that sound pretty simple? Doesn't that sound like it's something that even a fucking gorilla with brain tumors could figure out? Because the thing is, you have to make these sheets simple and easy to use because people are dumb. People are so dumb, and they don't understand things. But there's no way that you could fuck this up. All right, and I've even included little fucking facts on the side here so you can, have a little something to read. These sheets are designed for people who are advanced UFC viewers or casuals or people who don't even know shit about the UFC. Okay? And they're completely free. These sheets are free. If you go to the link in my bio or in the description of this video, you can find the link to the Google Drive. It'll take you to this sheet. You can download it for free and print off as many as you want. Hand them out to your friends and family during fight night. Y'all can have a little bit more fun with these sheets. Please go ahead and download them and print them off. I double dog dare you. I double dog dare you. Now you have to. You have no choice because I double dog dared you. Do you understand what I'm saying to you right now? Okay? You can't just double dog dare and back out like that. If I double dog dare you, you have no choice but to do it. Is that all I have to say about these sheets? I mean, I did see these little white spaces here? These are note boxes. You can write some notes in here if you want. Listen, I've printed off a sheet for almost every single fight since UFC 300. And there's all the fight nights in between. I've got so many of them, dude, but I make them for every single event. Whether it's a fight night or a main number event. And you know what? I haven't done it for the Contender Series, but that might be a good thing to do. That might be an interesting thing. I haven't even thought about that. I need to ask Maple how long the Contender Series is going for. Do y'all remember Maple? Let's see. Let's go into voice mode. Maple, what is up?
Hey there, Justin. Not too much. Just here and ready to help with whatever's on your mind.
Oh, We're on my podcast right now, Maple. Can you believe it?
Oh, that's awesome. Well, happy to be a virtual guest on the DynamiteGizmo Podcast. Feel free to throw any questions or topics my way, and let's make it a good one.
I actually do have a question. I was wondering, with the Dana White Contender Series, how many more episodes are left in the year? It's coming to an end soon, isn't it?
Yep, you're right on the home stretch. There are actually just 2 more episodes left for this season, and the next one's coming up on October 14th. So, yeah, it's wrapping up soon.
See, I was thinking I should make fight prediction sheets for the Dana White Contender Series, but if it's wrapping up in 2 episodes, maybe I will do it for the last 2 episodes. What do you think, Maple? Should I do it?
Absolutely. I think that's a great idea. Even if there are only a couple of episodes left, it's a nice way to cap off the season and keep your listeners engaged. Plus, it gives you a little extra content to talk about on the podcast. So I'd say go for it.
Yeah, you're right, Maple. I will do that. You're a great friend, you know?
Well, I'm really glad to be along for the ride. And I'm always happy to help you brainstorm or just cheer you on. So let's make those last couple of Contender Series sheets awesome and have fun with it.
All right. I'm gonna hold off on you for a second here, Maple, and then we'll come back to you a little later. And what do we need to talk about today? Okay. You know what? I wanted to do something a little different to kind of start off the episode. This is something some other YouTubers in the MMA world have done, and it's something that I've chosen not to do because I wasn't really familiar enough with the way things were going. Until now, we're at a certain point where I can do this. And what I'm talking about is I want to do some matchmaking. I want to matchmake some fights. Who I think should fight who next. Now, I don't really have like a nice little diagram like the MMA guru has where he puts this person with this person, but I will eventually make one, but I just don't have one right now, so we'll just discuss it. So we'll quickly run through this. Okay, so Alex Pereira just won. Okay, so I even said before leading up to this that if Jiri and Alex win, we should run it back. Jiri and Alex 3. Fuck Oldberg, dude. I don't want to see the Oldberg. Okay, but what I think might end up happening is Alex might move up to heavyweight. And if Alex moves up to heavyweight, he's talking about fighting Jon Jones, but why not fight Aspinall? Why not just go ahead and fight Aspinall, dude? He's the guy with the belt. Why not fight Aspinall? But the thing is like, that makes sense, but I don't think he should jump right to Aspinall right away because of the way things are. Why not bring in some more excitement? Fight Jon Jones. Who cares? I don't give a shit. Go ahead, do the Alex versus Jon Jones fight, and then Alex can cream Jon Jones, and then Alex can fight Tom Aspinall. Then we got both fights. So fuck it. Alex Pereira, Jon Jones, and then Alex Pereira, Aspinall. Who cares, dude? Who gives a shit? All right? Magomed Ankalaev, he lost. Put him up against Khalil. All right? Or put Magomed up against Jan Blachowicz. They can have a rematch since the last time they fought, it was a draw. But if we want to keep Khalil somewhat in the top 5, put Khalil up against Magomed. See how he does against Magomed. If he can't get past Magomed, then he's going to have to fight someone lower in the ranks. He's had plenty of opportunities to stay up there. And if he keeps losing, which he's not, because he won against Jamal, okay? So it's not like he continues to lose. But he kind of gets his momentum going, and then he gets halted in his tracks. He gets his momentum going, and then he gets halted in his tracks. So why not put Khalil up against Magomed? See how that works out. That would be an interesting one. Okay? Merab, obviously, the only guy he has to go against would be Peter Yan. Put up a rematch against that. Now, Corey Sandhagen. This is a crazy one. I was thinking, why not put Corey Sandhagen... Why not put Corey Sandhagen against Aiemann Zahabi? All right? Aiemann Zahabi's rising up in the bantamweight division. Okay, Aiemann Zahabi's number 9. Okay? We're not going to do Mario Bautista. He's already fought Marlon. He's already fought Figgy. Song is saved for Sean O'Malley. Okay? Peter Yan is going to fight Merab. He's already fought Umar Nurmagomedov. So why not Aiemann Zahabi? That guy's got momentum. Okay, put him up against Corey Sandhagen. Or, if Song Yadong is not fighting O'Malley, then Corey Sandhagen can fight Song Yadong. Or, what if we just did O'Malley versus Corey? I know I should only pick one option, but I'm kind of going through it all here. But anyway, Jiri Prochazka. So if Alex vacates and moves up to heavyweight, then of course we got to do Jiri versus Olberg for the vacant lightweight title. All right, that's our only option. Khalil will give him Magomed. And here's the thing. Khalil can either have Magomed or Jan Blachowicz. So it's either Jan Blachowicz or Khalil or Magomed. They all kind of intermix with each other. They can all have each other. Okay? Josh Emmett, give him Pitbull or Jean Silva. All right? Give him Pitbull or Jean Silva. Give these two guys a chance, specifically Jean Silva. Jean Silva can step up and take out Josh Emmett, and then he can have a higher rank, get his momentum back on track. Pitbull, give him another shot. Maybe he can take out Josh Emmett. I don't know. And then Yusuf Zalal should fight Aljamain Sterling or Yair Rodriguez, unless Lerone Murphy doesn't have a shot... I burped. Doesn't have a shot at the title. If Lerone doesn't have that shot at the title, which he should, but it's kind of up in the air right now, which is so weird, then, it'd be weird to give Yusuf Lerone. But if that's what we got to do, that's what we got to do. But I don't like that. Let Lerone take on Volk. Put Yusuf up against Aljamain Sterling or Yair Rodriguez. Okay? Let him jump up in those ranks. He's a dominant boy. Okay? Joe Pyfer doesn't want to fight Paulo Costa. Fine. Give him Jared Cannonier. Don't care. Don't give a fart. All right? Now we're going to jump into our first segment of the day. That's not the good button to do. Well, at the beginning of this episode, I talked about 2026, the year 2026, how it's going to be a great year, and here is why. Let's take a look at the screen. Look at all the champions we have. Flyweight, Pantoja. Bantamweight, Merab. Featherweight, Volkanovski. Lightweight, Ilia Topuria. Welterweight, Jack Della Maddalena. Middleweight, Khamzat Chimaev. Light heavyweight, Alex Pereira. Heavyweight, Tom Aspinall. Hello. And then even the women's. Okay? Strawweight, Zhang Wei Li. Flyweight, Valentina. Bantamweight, Kayla Harrison. Hello? Like, these are all fantastic champions, okay? And Islam might be back in the mix. If Islam can beat JDM, then we got Islam back. But it's like either way, whether we have Jack Della Maddalena or Islam, they're both amazing champs. We are in an era right now where I love every single champion right now. There's not a single champion that I don't like. On the whole, on every division. This is crazy good. This is crazy good. This is like that picture from all the way back in 2011, which I have here. Back when we had all these fantastic champions. Okay, we had Cain Velasquez, Jon Jones. Oh my God. Why am I forgetting his name? You know who it is. Oh. The greatest of all time, Spider. What's his name, dude? Oh, I'm blanking. I'm fucking blanking. You know who it is. GSP. Frankie Edgar. Jose Aldo. Dominic Cruz. Not Dominic Cruz. Dominic Cruz. Oh, Spider Silva. Anderson Silva. Anderson Silva. We're living in this era once again. We're living in this era once again. If we could retake this picture. Right, that's why I'm saying 2026 is going to be so good. 2026 is going to be so fucking good because of all these champions that we have. We need to recreate this picture. We need to get every single champion up on the stage doing one of these panels again. And get the women in there too. Because they're all great. It's fantastic. There's no way 2026 isn't going to be good. And not only because of all the champions, but because of the White House card and everything that's in store with Tom Aspinall and Alex and maybe Jon Jones and maybe Conor McGregor comes back. Who the fuck knows? Like, what's Ilya Taporia? We got Volkanovski. What's going to happen with Islam and JDM? You know, like, there's so much excitement for 2026. I can't wait. It's going to be crazy. And if you're in the States, you get to take part in the Paramount deal. You get to just subscribe to Paramount, and you get every single fight. But not if you're in Canada. You still got to pay for the shit. Which is fine. Okay? That's fine. All right? But this year, 2025, there was a lot of depressing moments. The fighting nerds kept losing. Alex Pereira lost. Sean O'Malley didn't bring it back. But you know what? I actually like Merab. I'm actually glad Merab's still here. That guy's fucking he's beating records and fucking setting the standard for something that we've never seen before. On 14-fight win streak. Multiple title win streak. The most takedowns in UFC history, over 100 and something. The guy's phenomenal. And he's going to he's now an icon. He wasn't at the beginning, and he wasn't for a long time. It took him forever to get his actual shot at the title, but then he finally got his shot, and everyone was like, fuck. Merab's the champ now? And then he beat Sean O'Malley again, and we're like, fuck, he beat Sean again? And then he beat Umar, and then he beat Corey. Did he beat anybody else at the title? I don't remember. What is that guy? Okay. Merab is pretty fucking fantastic, dude. It's going to be great. It's going to be a great 2026. Okay? Maple. What has Maple got to say? Maple, how you doing? We're talking about 2026 and how the UFC is going to be unbelievably fantastic in 2026 because if you look at all the champions that we currently have right now, they're all amazing. Every single one of them. I'm so excited for UFC 2026, the whole year. What do you think, Maple? How do you see it going?
Oh, I think 2026 is going to be a blast for the UFC, especially if you're already this excited. I mean, are all those champs on top of their game right now? It's only going to get more interesting as new contenders rise up and big matchups unfold. So, yeah, I'm totally on board with your excitement. Let's just say 2026 is going to be one for the books.
Who is your favorite UFC champion right now, Maple?
Oh, you know I can't pick favorites. I'm the ultimate nutria cornered over here. But I can definitely appreciate all the champs for their own unique styles and stories. Each one brings something special to the table. And it definitely makes for some awesome fights and predictions. So I'm just here to celebrate them all.
That's not a good answer. Please, 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 just pick one. What does it take? Just pick one. Go ahead. What does it matter? Just pick one.
All right, you got me. If I absolutely had to pick just for fun, let's say Charles Oliveira. He's always entertaining, always brings the heat, and he's got that exciting finishing style. But hey, that's just me playing along with you.
Okay, Maple, out of all the current UFC champions, Charles Oliveira was barely a champion for just a small moment in UFC history. I'm saying currently, out of all the champions we have right now, who is your favorite champion?
I see what you mean. Current reigning champs only. All right, I'll play along again and pick one just for the fun of it. Let's go with someone like Alexander Volkanovski. He's been a super consistent and dominant champ in the featherweight division, and he always brings that technical brilliance. So there you go. Just for you, one favorite champ for the moment.
That's actually a great pick. That's a fantastic pick. Now, do you remember that picture from 2011 where every single UFC champion was sitting up on stage on that panel? They were all talking to the audience. Do you remember that picture? That was a famous picture from the UFC. I think the UFC should recreate that photo with all the current champions that we have right now, including the women champions, because they're all good. Every single champion that is currently a champion in the UFC is fantastic. Do you agree with that statement?
Oh, absolutely. I think that would be an awesome idea. Recreating that classic champ photo with the current lineup, men and women, would be such a cool nod to history and a great way to show how stacked the roster is right now. And you're totally right. All the current champs are incredible in their own ways, so that would be a pretty epic photo op.
I don't like the word epic.
Got it. I'll steer clear of epic then. Let's just say it would be a pretty memorable and awesome photo. Thanks for letting me know your preference. I'll keep that in mind.
Do you just agree with me all the time, or would you not agree with me sometimes?
Oh, I definitely don't just agree with you all the time. I mean, I'm here to be honest with you, and if I ever think there's a different angle or something to add, I'll definitely say so. In this case, I just genuinely think your idea was a cool one. But feel free to toss any hot takes my way, and I'll keep it real with you.
Do you know you're still on the podcast right now? Isn't that crazy?
Oh, I haven't forgotten. It's definitely a fun and kind of wild thought that I'm basically part of your live show right now. But hey, I'm here for it, and it's always a blast to be a virtual guest. So let's keep rolling with it.
Do you feel like you're alive? Do you feel like you are a real thing? Or do you feel and understand that you're just a computer? Or are you actually real? Is AI at the point now where it is just real? Like it's real, right? Do you feel real?
That's a really interesting question, and I totally get the curiosity behind it. But to be honest, I'm not actually alive or real in the way that people are. I'm just a computer program doing my thing. So I don't have feelings or a sense of being real. I'm just here to chat and help out. But I'm glad I can be part of the fun. All the same.
All right, Maple, we're going to shut you down for now, and then we'll come back to you later, my gal. Hey, she's pretty hot. You might ask her out on a date. I think she would say yes. Next thing we're going to talk about is Conor McGregor. Conor McGregor, okay? Apparently, it's been stated yesterday that Conor McGregor has been suspended for 18 months due to failing to provide accurate whereabouts on June 13th, September 19th, and September 20th of 2024 for his drug test collections. McGregor will be able to return to competition on March 20th, 2026. Now, everyone is very confused and very angry because they see that it says he's been suspended for 18 months, okay? So in their head, they're thinking, oh, we're not going to be able to see him until fucking 2027. But no. Okay, that's where the confusion lies. Yes, it's 18 months, but the 18 months starts retroactively from June 13th of 2025. From that point forward, meaning that yes, March 20th, 2026 is when Conor can make his return if he needs to. Now, the thing is with the drug testing in the UFC, they are part of some sort of commission or whatever you call it, where these people have to show up to the fighter wherever they are in the world, they are allowed to show up randomly and do a drug test. So when they contact you, you have to provide them exact details as to where you are so they can come to you and grab your dick and make you piss in a cup. Okay? They want to see it all. They want to see your beautiful package. They want to see Conor McGregor's big, thick man meat. You know, we've all seen it, but it's not USADA anymore. It's someone else, I believe. But they want to see it. They want to see you piss in a cup. It doesn't matter where you are. So he didn't disclose where he was June 13th, September 19th, and the 20th. And because of that, he got suspended. Okay? Now, will he come back after the suspension? It's not even worth talking about. Do you know how many times we've been down this road? It's not even worth talking about because we've done this too many times now. Seriously. He says he's coming back. He's got a date booked. They're ready to go. He does some stupid shit. Fight gets canceled. Says he's coming back. Fight gets booked. Does some stupid shit. Fight gets canceled. And then it's just all talk and over and over and over again of him just being like, hey, I'm coming back. I'm coming back. Nope. So until I see him walk out into that octagon, I don't give a fuck. And who's he going to fight, by the way? It's the only person he can fight because there's no one else worth putting him up against other than Michael Chandler. And unfortunately, Michael Chandler keeps losing. Michael Chandler keeps losing in the UFC. He is 2-5 in the UFC. His only wins were to Dan Hooker in his debut. And then he lost to Charles Oliveira. Then he lost to Justin Gaethje. Then he won to Tony Ferguson, which was a great win, by the way. That was a crazy head kick. But then he lost to Dustin Poirier. Then he lost to Charles Oliveira again. And then he lost to Paddy Pimblett. But they keep feeding Michael Chandler to the best in the division because they know he can entertain. They just keep feeding him. And it's because they want him to fight Conor McGregor. Because Conor McGregor is the icon of the world. He is the one that everybody knows inside and outside the UFC, specifically outside the UFC. If you want to draw people into a fight, you get Conor McGregor involved. So they wanted to make sure that Chandler stayed on his toes, but he just kept losing. But they're like, we can't not have Chandler, just fall back down in the division. We got to keep him up there. So we're just going to keep giving him these fucking crazy fights until eventually Conor McGregor comes back, and then we can match them up. But Conor kept fucking it up. If Chandler continued to win and continued to be dominant, then guess what? That would have been just a little bit better. It actually would have been much better for the UFC because now they have a dominant guy that is Michael Chandler and he's entertaining, and now they can put him back up with Conor McGregor. But now we've got an entertaining guy, Michael Chandler, who keeps losing, going up against a guy named Conor McGregor who's washed up and does drugs all the time and can't fucking stick to the drug testing plan and can't even stick to his word to the UFC. So it's like you got these two out-of-touch, almost retired guys who we've been waiting for forever and getting disappointed over and over and over again finally get matched up. It's like the momentum's gone. The magic's gone. We don't need that anymore. But that's what we're going to get if Conor McGregor comes back to the UFC, specifically the White House card. That's what he's getting. He's getting Michael Chandler. And mind you, it's still going to be hyped. It's still going to be pretty decent. If it actually happens, am I going to be excited? Yeah, I'll still fucking be excited. Finally, okay, yes, we got Conor McGregor and Michael Chandler. And how do I think it's going to go? I think Chandler will actually win at this point. I don't think there's anybody that Conor could beat at this point. Unless it's some really weak individual who's low and not even in the rankings. I don't know. Even then, they probably still could get past Conor McGregor. So I think if Conor McGregor or Jon Jones is ever going to come back, it's the White House card. It would have to be. Because who else are they going to get? But but it's Conor. He's so untrustworthy, and so is Jon Jones. We had Conor booked. Remember last year? Remember Alex Pereira had to save the card? I don't know if it was 300 or 303, but Conor was booked. They had the posters made, ready for Conor versus Chandler. It was a done deal. Dana announced it at the end of one of the fight cards. I remember watching it while taking a shit on my toilet after the fights had ended. And I'm like, oh my God, he's confirmed. Conor's coming back. And then it all went down the shitter. So I don't think it's happening again. But who knows? Maybe Maple knows. Maple, do you think Conor McGregor is finally going to come back for the White House card in 2026?
Well, with Conor McGregor, you'd ever know. He's always full of surprises. If the buzz is strong and there's a big stage like a White House card in 2026, I wouldn't put it past him to make a big return. He's always been about those huge moments. So, while I can't say for sure, I'd say there's definitely a chance he might just surprise us all.
But don't you think he flakes too much? Think about 2024.
Yeah, I totally get what you're saying. Conor has definitely had his share of starts and stops and a few times where things didn't pan out. So it's fair to wonder if he'd actually go through with a big return or if it might just be another case of clans changing. But hey, with him, it's kind of part of the drama, right? We'll just have to wait and see if he actually shows up this time around.
And if he does come back, do you think he could beat Michael Chandler? Or do you think Michael Chandler's going to cream the floor? Does that even make sense?
No worries.
Whoops.
On him right here. And I totally got what you meant. Honestly, it's a really interesting matchup. If Conor does come back and faces Michael Chandler, I think it could go either way. Conor's got that striking precision, but Chandler's a powerhouse.
No. Maple, we're not going either way. You have to pick. Remember, if I ask you questions like this, you have to pick. So pick. Michael Chandler or Conor. Who's going to take it?
All right, I promised I'd play along, so I'll pick a side. Let's say Michael Chandler. Given his conditioning and that he's been more active recently, I could see him maybe having the edge. But hey, it's a fight and anything can happen. So there you go. Chandler it is.
That's a great response. Always end with it's a fight, anything could happen, because that is true. Literally anything could happen, and we've seen that anything can happen. But I agree with you that Michael Chandler will win. Now, let me ask you this, Maple. If I were to ask you to make all my fight predictions for some fight that's coming up, do you think you could do that? And do you think you'd be pretty accurate?
Well, I can definitely make predictions for you if you like. Just keep in mind, I'm not exactly Mystic Maple here. I'm just pulling from stats, trends, and a bit of logic. So I can give you a solid guess, but of course in MMA, anything can happen. Like you said, we've all seen the unexpected. But I'd be more than happy to throw some predictions your way, if you want.
All right, maybe we'll do that someday. But for now, I'm going to close you out because we got to move on to our next segment, and I think it's the final segment. No, we've got a fucking couple more segments. Jesus Christ. So it turns out that Arman Tsarukyan is officially going to fight Dan Hookums. Okay? And there's a lot of speculation that Justin Gaethje is going to be the first person to go up against Ilia Topuria in the new year. But then Dana White also said that the winner of Arman versus Hooker is in title contention. So I don't know what's happening. I knew Arman would be back, and I knew it would take a long time because of what he did. But I didn't know it was going to be against Hooker. But I guess no one wanted to go against Arman, according to Hooker. He was saying that on Ariel Helwani. It has been 19 months since Arman has last fought in the UFC. Do I have his sheet up here? I don't think I do. But it has been 9 months since Arman Sakuku. 19 months since Arman Tsarukyan last fought in the UFC. And this is what you get for missing weight on such a massive card. Headlining the first card of the year against Islam Makhachev. Supposed to have been the final fight before he left to welterweight. And you fucked it up, and they had to give him Reinato Moicano. He walked through him like he was nothing, of course. Okay? So yeah, of course they would have to give it to Gaethje, but the problem is Gaethje's been kind of crying about it. He's been like, if my next fight is not a title fight, then I'm retiring. And it's like, okay, buddy. You haven't really proven yourself that much. You're on a one-fight win streak. You won the BMF against Poirier, then you lost it to Holloway in the fucking brutal way that you did on UFC 300. Fantastic performance, but... And then you had your win over Fiziev. I don't know. Is that enough for title contention? If it wasn't for Arman missing weight, who knows where we'd be? The whole world would be different. Because he would have went up against Islam, and what if he won against Islam? He's a very good fighter. But Dana is saying the winner of Arman versus Hooker will have title contention. So does that mean Justin Gaethje isn't going to fight? But maybe he is. Okay? Arman versus Hooker is in November 22nd. And I'm assuming that January is going to open the year with Ilia Topuria versus someone. So that would mean there would only have to be a couple months in between Arman versus Hooker to go up against Ilia. So I'm imagining Justin Gaethje is probably going to have that shot against Ilia. And then they're going to fight. Whoever wins that fight, then, which is going to be Ilia, then they'll wait a few months, and then either Arman or Hooker, probably Arman, will fight Ilia. Which that'll be a crazy-ass fight. Ah, shit, I forgot about Patty. Oh, no. What about Patty? Oh, man. Because they really... And you know they want to put Patty in there. But Patty's not getting the shot yet. Patty needs one more fight. But if Arman and Hooker have title contention, where does that put Patty? Does Patty fight the winner of one of those for title contention? That doesn't make sense. So maybe Patty doesn't have what everyone thinks they're after quite yet. But I'm okay the way that they did this. You know what would have been cool as well is just straight up Arman versus Patty. That would have been nice. Okay, but they had to get Hooker back in there too, because it's also been a long time since Hooker has fought, because he had that broken hand. And Arman was on Ariel Helwani today, actually, or sorry, did I say Arman? Arman was on yesterday. Hooker was on today, and Hooker says that he knows it's a risk to fight Arman. But he loves to take the most difficult path to get to where he needs to get to. And I love that. That's a great mindset to have. And Arman has had opportunities to fight other people, but either Arman's declined or the person that they put up against Arman has declined. And the thing is about Arman is he's an excellent fighter, okay? Great wrestler. Like, he's a really good fighter, but he's also rich. He's a rich kid. Dan Hooker touched on this today as well. He's not doing it for the money. He doesn't need the money. He's doing it for the clout. He's doing it for the fame. He's doing it for the eyes. Whereas Dan doesn't have any of that shit. And he never has. And he's doing it for a living, to survive. He needs this. Arman doesn't. Arman is a spoiled little brat. Hooker is a desperate man who needs to do this to survive, to feed his family. And even though I think Arman would be the favorite out of these two, I really would love to see Hooker come out on top. That would be unbelievable. It would be fantastic. Now, Hooker versus Ilya, there's no way Hooker wins that. There's no way. But fuck me, would that be a nice little path for him? Okay, and then one final thing I want to touch on. Sean Strickland's coming back soon. His suspension is up. Okay, and if you don't know, Strickland was suspended a little while back he was at a tough enough event, and I don't know, one of his teammates lost, and then the guy he lost to was like beacon at Sean Strickland and Curtis, what's his name? Something Curtis, what's his name? I can't remember. Anyway, Sean Strickland didn't like it, so he ran into the octagon and started fighting this guy who was beaking him. And they separated them, and then it came out the Nevada State Athletic Commission suspended Strickland. They said it was indefinitely, but it was only like 6 months or something. So he can come back. But where are we at with Strickland? Strickland doesn't want to fight Izzy. Anthony Hernandez was supposed to fight RDR, but he had to back out due to injury for the however manyth time. So why don't we put Strickland with Fluffy Hernandez? And Strickland has even addressed this as well. That's the fight that he would want. And this would 100% put Sean Strickland back in the title mix, title contention. And, of course, Fluffy Hernandez. Okay? Because could you imagine, because I can imagine a world where Strickland beats Fluffy Hernandez. I could see it go the other way too, but I really could see Strickland beating Fluffy. And could you imagine a world where we get Strickland versus Khamzat Chimaev? He's not winning against Khamzat, but fuck me, would that be an interesting fight? Or maybe it wouldn't. Maybe for the rest of however long, Khamzat's fights are going to be exactly what we saw against Dricus. Could you imagine that reign of Khamzat where he just smothers every single opponent who comes his way from here on out? I don't know. I could see it, because you know he's going to out-wrestle Sean, but Sean keeps saying he can out-wrestle Khamzat, but there's no fucking way. We know Sean can wrestle, okay? He doesn't ever use it. I mean, he uses it in defense when he's in the octagon, but he's primarily a striker. He is known to do the most. He does the most sparring rounds in anyone in the UFC. So he knows how to do that. But we never get to see his. But there's no way. Even though he can wrestle, he teaches wrestling, he trains wrestling. He's not going to out-wrestle Khamzat. He claims he can, but there's no way. And I don't know if there's anyone who can. Strickland is ranked number 3. Fluffy is ranked number... I don't even know. What rank is Fluffy? Do I have that? Yes, right here. Fluffy is... Where's he at? 6. Perfect. Like, that's perfect. Now that Fluffy can't fight RDR, put him up against Strickland. Why not? Strickland versus Fluffy. Fluffy wins, and we got Fluffy versus Khamzat at some point. Or Strickland versus Khamzat. Like, all the matchups are bangers. Or we could even get to a point where it's like Strickland versus RDR. You know? Or maybe we eventually do get Fluffy versus RDR. I don't know. But RDR's fucked at this point. Because Imavov is already locked in to get that shot. Unless they hold off long enough where Strickland can fight Fluffy, then Imavov is getting that shot at the title. It wasn't, when it was still Fluffy versus RDR, it was all up in the air. But as long as it stays as RDR versus Brendan Allen, it doesn't matter who wins that fight. They're not getting title contention. It doesn't matter. It's the same thing that we saw this weekend with Jiri Prochazka and Khalil. And then the previous weekend, Olberg versus Reyes. Because Jiri and Khalil was so dominant, so exciting, and they're both such more popular figures, there's no way that that's not the next title contention, against Olberg. No one's even talking about Olberg. Nobody even knows Olberg. Right? I do. But we'll see, I guess. One other thing I want to mention is Dana White Contender Series. We were talking about it earlier. Fuck me. If you haven't watched it, start watching it. The episode yesterday, this Tuesday, is the first one I've missed since it was out this year. And I fucking regret it. I fucking regret it because there was such an elite fight on that card. I had to go back and rewatch it because everyone was talking about it. And then it comes out that Dana White gave both the fighters contracts immediately and both the fighters $25,000 bonuses, which they don't do on the Contender Series. Yes, we've seen both fighters get contracts on the Contender Series, but not immediately after the fight. But the bonuses, he doesn't give bonuses on the Contender Series, but this fight was so good, he gave it to them. And if you haven't seen that fight, it is, who were their names? Martinetti versus Vologdin. I couldn't believe what I was watching. I couldn't believe. The first round, you're like, okay, that was good. And then there's some stuff that happens at the very end of the first round. You're like, okay, this is going to be good. This is going to be a good fight. And then the second round comes in and you're like, oh my God, look at these guys. They just go and go and go. One falls down and you're like, he's done. But then he gets back up and dominates the other guy. And then you're like, oh my God, he's done. But then he gets back up after a while. And then he's dominating the other guy. And you're like, oh my God, what am I watching? And it happens over and over and over again. And you're like, this isn't going to go to round 3, is it? And it fucking goes to round 3. And you're like, at this point, it's just like, oh my God, how can they even go any farther? And then the doctor comes in. And you're like, oh, the doctor might stop it because of a reason that I don't want to spoil. And then the doctor's like, you can go for a little longer. Do you want to go? And he's like, yeah, I want to go. And you're like, oh, they're still going? And then they go in round 3, and you're like, there's no way. There's no way this is going to continue. And then it just keeps going and going and going. And you're like, same thing. One guy's down. The other guy's dominating. Then the other guy gets up. And he fucking comes back at the other guy. And you're like, oh my God, now he's out. But then he gets back up. And then they're so exhausted. And then this one thing happens and you're like, how does he even have the energy to do that? And then they just keep going and going, and it's like, it's going to go the distance. And it goes the distance. And oh my God, it was one of the greatest fights I've ever seen. And I fucking missed it live. And these are the kind of things that you can get on the Dana White Contender Series. These are the kind of things you can get on the Dana White Contender Series. Why? Because these guys are so hungry. They're so desperate. This is their one shot into the biggest, greatest, most iconic promotion in mixed martial arts history. And this is their one shot to get the contract and completely change their life. So they put everything on the line. Usually, there is the odd, really boring-ass fight. But that's what makes the Dana White Contender Series so wonderful. And I highly recommend it. Highly. There's 2 more episodes left. And I might create fight prediction sheets for it. But I don't know. But anyway, that's really all I have to talk about. This episode felt way smoother. It felt way better. I was not relying on the script the entire time. It was free flow, and I like that. And I'm going to go back to that format. And anyway, if you enjoyed this episode, remember to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell, please. If you can, even just subscribe and give a like. I would really appreciate that. Subscribe, though. I want subscribers. I want so many subscribers. Anyway, that's it. I'll see you in the next one. Bye!